The first 15 seconds. It starts while you're doing something ordinary, driving to work, climbing a ladder, landing a plane, performing surgery. You inhale. The air fills your lungs, but the oxygen is gone. For the first 3 to 5 seconds, nothing feels wrong. Your bloodstream still carries residual oxygen from your last real breath, roughly 15 to 20 seconds worth. Your brain, which burns through 20% of your body's oxygen supply, despite being only 2% of your body weight, continues functioning normally. Then the deficit begins. By 6 seconds, vision starts narrowing. Peripheral sight dims first. Thoughts slow, like trying to think through thick fog. Balance weakens. By 8 seconds, blood oxygen saturation crashes below 60%. Normal is around 95 to 100%. At 60%, cognitive function collapses entirely. Reaction time doubles. Muscle coordination dissolves. A driver at 70 miles per hour experiencing a 2-second lapse travels 200 feet completely blind to what's happening. Hands stay on the wheel, but the brain isn't processing the road anymore. The car drifts across the center line without correction. Multiply that by every driver on every road. Surgeons mid-procedure feel their hands go numb. Construction workers on scaffolding lose their grip, not because they choose to let go, because muscles stop receiving signals. Pilots at 35,000 feet watch engines flame out. Jet fuel needs oxygen to burn. Thrust disappears. They have maybe 5 seconds of useful consciousness before hypoxia shuts them down. There are roughly 10,000 commercial aircraft in the sky at any given moment. All just lost power. By 10 to 15 seconds, most people lose consciousness. Not gasping, not panicking, just off. The brain simply stopped having enough fuel to stay awake, and the world doesn't stop moving. Everything combusts stops. 1.4 billion vehicles are still moving. Combustion engines need oxygen to burn fuel. The moment atmospheric oxygen disappears, every internal combustion engine on Earth dies within seconds. A semi-truck on Interstate 95 coasts at 65 miles per hour with an unconscious driver. It drifts into the guardrail, jackknifes. The 3 vehicles behind it, all piloted by unconscious drivers, don't avoid it. This happens on the German Autobahn, the Trans-Canada Highway, China's G30 Expressway. Every major road system simultaneously fills with uncontrolled coasting vehicles. At cruising altitude, a Boeing 737 can glide roughly 100 miles. The problem isn't the glide, it's that no one is controlling where it goes. No one adjusts descent. No one aims for open fields. 10,000 uncontrolled aircraft begin descending toward cities, mountains, suburbs, farmland. Some hit empty desert. Some hit downtown cores during rush hour. Helicopters don't glide. Their rotors are powered directly by engines. Without combustion, they fall from whatever altitude they're at. News helicopters, medical transports, police patrols, all falling. Power grids collapse within 30 seconds. Coal and gas plants shut down. Grid operators lose consciousness at their stations. Entire continents go dark. Backup diesel generators at hospitals try to start. They can't. Diesel requires oxygen. Nuclear reactors automatically scram. Control rods drop. Fission stops. But cooling systems require electricity. Without power, decay heat continues building. There are 440 nuclear reactors operating worldwide. All just lost main and backup power simultaneously. Elevators freeze between floors. Subways stall in tunnels. High-speed trains coast with no one controlling brakes. They don't stop until they derail. Construction cranes tower hundreds of feet above cities. Crane operators just lost consciousness in suspended cabins. Loads mid-lift are no longer secured. A steel beam weighing 3 tons, suspended 40 stories above street level, loses controlled support. The crane's safety systems require power. Power is gone. Gravity takes over. A 3-ton beam falling from 400 feet obliterates whatever it hits. High-rise window washers lose control of their rigs. They all fall because muscle coordination vanished 10 seconds earlier. In under 90 seconds, civilization transforms into a planet-wide cascade of uncontrolled failures. Pressure and radiation. Oxygen makes up 21% of Earth's atmosphere. Remove it, and atmospheric pressure drops from 14.7 pounds per square inch to approximately 11.8 pounds per square inch, a loss of 20%. Windows crack under sudden decompression. Office buildings on upper floors experience shattering glass from pressure differential. Aircraft cabins experience additional stress. Passenger jets are pressurized to simulate 8,000 feet even when flying at 35,000. Remove 20% of external pressure suddenly, and structural seals weaken. Some cabins breach, then the ozone layer collapses. Ozone is made entirely of oxygen molecules. The ozone layer blocks 97 to 99% of the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. The moment atmospheric oxygen vanishes, ozone breaks apart within minutes. By minute 3, unfiltered UVC radiation reaches Earth's surface. UV at this intensity causes second-degree burns on exposed skin within 5 minutes. Permanent retinal damage within seconds. Crops suffer cellular destruction. DNA in plant cells breaks down. Photosynthesis stops. Even when oxygen returns, the damage is permanent. Brain death at 4 minutes. Minute 3, the threshold. The human brain can survive roughly 3 minutes without oxygen before irreversible damage begins. Not injury. Actual death of brain cells. Neurons don't regenerate. When they die, they're gone. By minute 4, widespread neuronal death occurs across billions of brains. The hippocampus, responsible for memory, dies first. Then the cerebral cortex. The parts that make people who they are disintegrate at the cellular level. Hearts might still beat weakly. Hearts survive longer without oxygen than brains. But without oxygenated blood reaching the brain, it doesn't matter. By minute 5, it's over. Oxygen returns to the atmosphere as suddenly as it disappeared. The sky looks normal. The air composition is back to 21% oxygen. But most people aren't waking up. Someone who lost consciousness at 15 seconds just experienced nearly 5 minutes of uninterrupted hypoxia. The clinical threshold for brain death is 4 to 6 minutes. Across the planet, billions don't wake up. Ever. Hearts may restart. Some autonomic functions may resume. But the person who existed 5 minutes ago is gone. The neurons that stored memories, personality, and the ability to think are dead. Those who do wake up face catastrophic damage. Loss of motor control. Memory obliteration. Organ failure from oxygen deprivation. Oceans hold dissolved oxygen that marine life depends on. The moment atmospheric oxygen disappeared, gas exchange at the surface stopped. Fish in shallow waters began suffocating. Coral reefs started dying immediately. Phytoplankton, which produce 50% of Earth's oxygen, suffered massive die-offs. Even with oxygen returned, these populations take years to recover. Infrastructure doesn't restart. Thousands of aircraft crashed. Vehicles collided on every highway. Chemical plants destabilized. Power grids experienced cascade failures that take months to rebuild. Even survivors with intact brain function wake up to a civilization that no longer exists. Oxygen returning doesn't undo what 5 minutes did. Death doesn't come because oxygen stayed gone. It comes because it was gone just long enough. And civilization dies too. Not from explosion, but from the permanent damage of a 5-minute interruption in the one molecule the brain cannot store, cannot survive without, and cannot recover from losing. If you found this scenario interesting, like the video and subscribe for more.